Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Aska. So in today's tutorial you're going to learn how to crochet shrug with stars. I had already made another shrug with stars, but this one you're going to do it differently, and also you're going to include a tutorial for the stars. Okay, because I got a lot of feedback, people asking me to make a tutorial for the stars, so I decided to include it with a different style of making another shrug. Okay, so if you're new, please subscribe and click the notification bell so that you get notified when I post a new video. So for this project you're going to need a pair of scissors, you're going to need 2 needles, a 5mm crochet hook and a 3.5mm crochet hook. So the 5mm crochet hook you're going to use it to make the shrug, but the 3.5 you're going to use it to make the stars. Okay, and you're going to need stitch markers, turning needle and tape measure. And in this tutorial you're not going to work with the amount of chains to determine the size that you want to make. You're going to use the tape measure, because I realized that using the amount of chains, people have different tension and different kind of yarn. So if you use the amount of chains to determine the size, it's not going to be accurate for everyone. So in this tutorial you're going to stick to the tape measure. And for the yarn you're going to use these 2 colors. The pink one you're going to use it for the whole shrug, and this one you're going to do the stars and also to decorate it. Okay, so I'm using Robin. This is 100% acrylic. It's a Kenyan brand and it's a lightweight yarn, so we are going to double our strand, but I would recommend you use any other medium weight yarn. Okay, so let us start. So before you begin, you're going to take your bust measurements and your sleeve measurements. So you're going to take your bust measurements and divide it by 2. So I'm going to work with the bust measurements of 36 inches. So I'm going to divide 36 by 2. That is 18 inches. So I'm going to make chains that will measure 19 inches. I added 1 because as you continue it's going to narrow down a little bit. And also if you want to get a loose fit, you're going to add to 20 inches. Okay, so let's start. You're going to start by making a knot. So this is how I make my knot. That way. Now I'm going to make my chains. It doesn't matter how many chains I make. You're going to measure it after I'm done. And if you want a very loose fit, you're going to consider adding 3 or 4 inches. I'm done with my chains. Now I'm going to measure it, and do not stretch your chains while measuring it. Just place it down and measure it. So I wanted 19 inches. So I'm just going to place my tape measure there. As you can see, it has gone a little bit more. So I'm going to undo this. Okay, so now I have my 19 inches. It's not stretched. You can see if I stretch it, it can go up to even 23 there. So you're going to stick to this one. Now let's go to the first row, and we're also going to measure it on our first row. You're going to yarn over once and go to the 8th chain from the hook. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. The 8th one, you're going to insert your hook, pull up a loop. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. So that is a double crochet. Chain 2, yarn over. You're going to skip 2 stitches, 2 chains, 1 2, go to the 3rd one with a double crochet. That way. Chain 2, yarn over, skip 2, go to the 3rd one with a double crochet. That way. Now you're going to continue with this until you get to the end of the row, and I'm going to meet you at the end of the row. I am at the end of my row and I have 1 chain left, so I'm just going to undo this chain. So whatever chains you have left here, let's say 1 or 2, you're going to undo them. Now let's go ahead and measure our work. So it measures 15 inches without stretching, but remember I wanted 18 inches, so this can stretch up to the 18 inches I wanted. You see, it can even go up to 20, even 21. It's very stretchy. Okay, so this is okay. Now let's go ahead to our second row, and don't worry about this, I'll undo this later. Now let us start the second row. I'm going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, turn my work, and I'm going to yarn over, go to the second double crochet. On top of it, you're going to place your double crochet there. Now you're going to chain 2, yarn over, and go to the next double crochet, which is this one, and insert your hook on top of it and make a double crochet. Chain 2, go to the next double crochet and make a double crochet that way. Now keep doing this and you're going to meet at the end of the row. I'm almost at the end of my second row, so I'm going to chain 2, and you're going to go to the third chain. So this is the first one, the second one, go to the third one with your double crochet, and that marks the end of the second row. And this is what we have right now. Now let us go to the third row. You're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, turn your work, and you're going to yarn over, go to the second double crochet. On top of it, make your double crochet. So we are repeating what we did on the second row. So I want you to go ahead and repeat what you did on the second row until you have 7 inches in height. Okay, and that also depends. You might go ahead and make 8 inches, 9 inches, 6 inches. It's all up to you. Okay, so I'm going to make 7 inches, then you're going to meet after that. I'm done working on the amount of rows that I wanted, so let's go ahead and measure this. I had said I'm going to make it up to 7 inches, but I added 1 more inch, so I made 8 inches in length. Okay, now let's go ahead and start on our neckline. And when you're taking the measurements, make sure not to stretch your work. Okay, if I stretch this, it will go up to 9 or 10. So when you take the measurements, don't stretch your work. Okay, now let us start on the neckline. So before you begin working on the neckline, you're going to decide if you're going to make an off shoulder or a normal neckline. Okay, so if you're doing an off shoulder, you're going to count 2 chain 2 spaces, 1, 2, and insert your hook into the third double crochet, 1, 2, the third one, and do the same thing on this other side, 1, 2, at this point. Okay, now if you're doing a normal neckline like the one you're going to do for this, you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Into the next double crochet, you're going to place your stitch marker there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this measures 10 inches apart. Okay, and if you're doing an off shoulder, it's going to measure 14 inches. It's going to measure almost 14 inches apart. Okay, now let us continue. Now I'm going to chain 5 as usual. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, turn my work. You're going to yarn over, go to your second double crochet, chain 2. So you're going to work up to the point where you have the stitch marker. Now I'm at the point where I have my stitch marker, so I'm going to remove the stitch marker and replace it with a double crochet that way. Now you're going to make chains in between here up to this point. So let's go ahead and count it so that you know how many chains you're going to make. So you're going to count in groups of 3. Okay, so remember we do have in here we have 2 chains and a double crochet, so that is 1, 2, 3. Next we have 2 chains and a double crochet, 2 chains and a double crochet. So 1 2 3, 1 2 3. So you're going to count in groups of 3. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 and 13. So up to this double crochet we do have 13 groups of 3. So you're going to say 13 times 3, that is 39. Okay, and remember we do have 2 chains here left, so 39 plus 2, that is 40, 41. So you're going to make 41 chains. So go ahead and count yours. I'm sure it's not the same for everyone. Make sure you count it in groups of 3 so that it becomes easy, and then you're going to multiply by 3 and then add these 2 chains you have here. Okay, so let's go ahead and make your chains. So I'm going to make 41 chains. So 1 2 3 4 5 6, and don't tighten the chains. 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 39 40 41. So I'm going to yarn over and go to the point where we have the stitch marker, remove the stitch marker and replace it with a double crochet that way. And now I'm going to continue with the same pattern until the end of the row. I'm going to chain 5, turn my work, yarn over and continue with the same pattern until you get to the point where we have the chains. Now I'm at the point where we have my chains, so I'm going to chain 2, yarn over, and I'm going to skip 2 chains. So 1 2, I'm going to go to the 3rd chain with a double crochet, chain 2, skip 2, go to the 3rd one with your double crochet, chain 2, skip 2, go to the 3rd one with a double crochet. So this is just like the beginning of the shrug, what we did here. Okay, so I want you to continue like that until you get to the end of these chains. I'm almost getting to the end of my chains. Now I have 2 chains left, this one and this one. So I'm going to chain 2 and go to the next double crochet, which is this one, and place my double crochet there. And this is how it looks like. Now I'm going to continue with the same pattern until now the end of the row. Now before you go to the next row, I want you to go ahead and confirm the amount of chain 2 spaces on this row is equal to the amount of chain 2 spaces on the previous rows. Okay, if you are not sure about the chains that you made here, just go ahead and confirm and they should be equal. Okay, now let's go to the next row. You're going to chain 5, 1 2 3 4 5, turn my work, and I'm going to yarn over and do the same process. A double crochet, chain 2, go to the next double crochet. Now you're going to do this until the end of the row, and you're going to repeat this row. Now it's just like what we did in here. Okay, so you're going to continue until you have the same amount of rows on both sides. Okay, I have 15 rows on this side, so I'm going to continue until I have 15 rows on the other side also. I'm done working on both sides, and this is how it looks like. Now we're going to start working on the sleeves. So you're just going to continue with the yarn that you have here, and I'm going to turn my work this way. Now you're going to chain 1 and insert your hook into this chain 2 space and make a slip stitch. You're going to pull through that way, chain 1, and then go to this space, make a slip stitch, chain 1, go to the next space with a slip stitch, chain 1, go to the next space in between with a slip stitch. So you are trying to get to the 4th row. So this is the 1st row, the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th. So I'm going to chain 1 and go to the 3rd row, chain 1 and go in between, that way. So 1 2 3. Now I'm on the 4th row. Now I'm going to do 1 slip stitch into the 4th row and I'm going to chain 5. So 1 2 3 4 5. So that means we've started on the 4th row. This is the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd and the 4th. But if you want a baggy sleeve, a big one, you're going to start on the 2nd one. Or if you want a really big one, you can just start at the 1st one. Just start at this point. But I want something that is a bit fitting, so I'm going to start on the 4th row. Now I'm going to yarn over and go to the next row. Insert your hook inside the chain 2 space and make your double crochet, that way. Chain 2 and go to the next with your double crochet, chain 2, go to the next, chain 2, go to the next, that way. Now I'm going to keep doing that until you get to this other side. 1 2 3 4, until you get to the 4th row on this other side, and I'm going to meet you at that point. 1 2 3 4. I've gotten to the end of the 1st row. So if you have watched my previous shrug tutorials, you realize that the way we started this sleeve is different from the other ones. Okay, now let's continue. Now you're going to join these to form a sleeve. So I'm going to turn my work this way. And I'm going to chain 2 and then go into my the first chain 5 space that we made here, insert my hook and make a slip stitch, that way. Now you're going to insert your hook into that same chain 5 space and make a chain 1 or a slip stitch, that way. Now I'm going to chain 4, 1 2 3 4, and then you're going to yarn over and go to the next chain 2 space with your double crochet, chain 2, go to the next chain 2 space with the double crochet, chain 2. Now we are not working on the double crochet stitch, these stitches, we are working into the chain 2 space. So yarn over and go to the next chain 2 space, chain 2, go to the next one, that way. So keep doing that and you're going to meet at the end of the row. I'm almost getting to the end of my row. Now I'm going to place 1 double crochet into this chain 2 space here, then chain 2 and you're going to slip stitch into the chain 4 space, that way. And don't worry about this opening, you're going to close this once you're done. Okay, now you're going to insert your hook into the same chain 4 space and chain 1, that way. Now you're going to chain 4, 1 2 3 4. So this chaining 1 that you are adding here is to get your work into the middle of the loop. Okay, now you're going to chain 4, 1 2 3 4, yarn over and go to the next chain 2 space, chain 2, go to the next chain 2 space, chain 2. Now you're going to keep doing that until the end of the row. Then you're going to slip stitch into this chain 1, then chain 4, and repeat the same process until you have the height that you want for your sleeve. So I'm going to work with a 22 inch for my sleeve. So continue with yours and you're going to meet after you're done with that. And be careful not to skip stitches or add more stitches. Okay, make sure you maintain the same amount of stitches until the end of your sleeve. So continue and you're going to meet after that. I am done working on one sleeve. Now let's go ahead and measure this and see. And do not stretch your work while taking the measurements. Okay, so I'm going to measure it from the first row of the sleeve, which is this one. So I'm going to place my tape measure there and measure it. It measures 21 inches without stretching it, but if you stretch it, because it's going to stretch over time, it will go up to 23. Okay, it can stretch even more, but I'm going to stick with this one. Now I'm going to chain one here and cut, chain one and cut. So you're just going to go to the next sleeve, and this is the right side of your work. Okay, so just put it straight like that, and you're going to count 4 rows. 1, 2, 3. On the 4th row, you're going to insert your hook into that last loop, attach your yarn, and you're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you're going to go to the next loop, chain 2, go to the next one, chain 2. So you're going to continue the same way we did the other one until you get to the end of the row. Then you chain 2, join here and do your chain 1, then you chain 4, and then you continue. You're going to repeat exactly what we did on this other side, and you're going to meet after you're done with the 2 sleeves. I just finished working on both of my sleeves, so I just did exactly what we did on the other side. Now let's go ahead and join the underarm. So this is the right side of my work. We've been working on the right side all along, so now I want you to go ahead and work on the wrong side for the underarm. Okay, you don't have to turn the whole thing, you just turn where you're going to work. Now I want you to insert your hook into the third chain here. So not into the loop, into the third chain. So count 1, 2, or from this other side 1, 2, the third one. Insert your hook, and also on the other side, the third one also. 1, 2. That way. Now you're going to attach. And you're going to chain 1 and add 3 more chains. Now you're going to go to the next post, this one, and also the next one on the other side. Make a slip stitch, chain 3, go to the next one, and also on the other side, make a slip stitch, chain 3, and into the last one. Remember, we started on the 4th row, so you're going to work up to the 3rd one. 1, 2, 3, up to this one. Okay, so I'm going to slip stitch, chain 1, and cut. So this is the right side, and now this is the wrong side. Okay, so you're going to do the same to this other side. I'm done joining both sides. Now let's go ahead and align our work with the black yarn so that we start working on the stars. Okay, so you're going to pick your black color or the color that you want to line it with, and you're going to pick any stitch. Okay, just any. Let's say I pick here. It doesn't really matter as long as you're working on the right side of your work. Then you're going to join, chain 1, and you're going to insert your hook into the next chain 2 space with a single crochet, another single crochet, and another one. So you're going to place 3 single crochets into the chain 2 space. Now go to the next one, make 3 single crochets as well. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That way. So you're going to keep placing 3 single crochets in each chain 2 space all round, and when you're done with that, you're going to go to the neckline, do the same thing, 3 single crochets in each chain 2 space, and then you're going to do the same thing to the sleeves as well, and you're going to meet after you've lined your work. I'm done lining the shrug with the black yarn. Now it's time to make the stars. So I went ahead and made my stars, but I can't use black yarn to show it to you guys, so you're going to use the pink, but you're going to make them with the color that matches with these. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it. So you're going to start by making a magic ring. So you're going to make a loose knot that way, and you're going to hold it this way. Now I'm going to insert my hook and chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now I'm going to yarn over and make 14 double crochets into the ring. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. That way. Now you're going to join the ring. So insert your hook into the first stitch here, this one, and you're going to make a slip stitch that way. Now I'm going to chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Insert your hook into the second chain from the hook, this one, and make a slip stitch that way. Insert your hook into the next stitch, the next chain, make a single crochet. Now yarn over and go to the next chain with a half double crochet. Yarn over, go to the next chain with a double crochet. Yarn over twice and go to the last chain with a triple crochet. So pull up a yarn, pull through 2, pull through 2 and pull through 2. So that is a triple crochet. Now you're going to count 2 stitches. The first one is that first stitch, the one that you made a slip stitch into. So 1, 2, the third one, make a slip stitch that way. Now I'm going to chain 6 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now go to the second chain from the hook with a slip stitch. Go to the next chain with a single crochet. Yarn over and go to the next chain with a half double crochet. Yarn over and go to the next with a double crochet. Yarn over twice and go to the last one with a triple crochet. That way. Now I'm going to count 2 stitches, the next 2 stitches, these and these, go to the third one with a triple crochet. Now let me repeat the same process once more so that you can continue by yourself. So I'm going to chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Insert your hook into the second chain from the hook with a slip stitch that way. Go to the next chain with a single crochet. Yarn over, go to the next one with a half double crochet. Yarn over, go to the next with a double crochet. Yarn over twice and go to the last with a triple crochet. That way. Now I'm going to count the next 2 stitches, not this one, this 1, 2, the third one, make a slip stitch. Okay, now you're going to chain 6 and make another one like this, and you're going to count this one and slip stitch into this, then chain 6 and do another one. Then you're going to count this and this and slip stitch into this one, and I'm going to meet you at that point. Chain 1, and you're going to leave a very long tail, and you're going to cut. So let me measure the size of the tail that I left, because you're going to use this tail to attach it to the shrug. Okay, so I left a tail that measures 25 inches. Okay, so you can leave it that measures between 23 to 25 inches. That will be okay. You're going to use this to attach it to the shrug. Now you're going to make 7 of these. I made 7 of them in the black color. Now let's go ahead and join it. Now before we continue, you're going to mark points where you're going to place your stars. Okay, so go ahead and place your shrug flat or hang it like this, the way I've done mine, and then you'll go ahead and mark it. Don't just attach your stars without marking the points where you're going to place them. Okay, because you want it to look neat, so you're going to place them at these points where I've placed them. Don't place them at the middle or at the corner here. Place them almost at the end, and one at the front, either is this side or this side, and also on this other side. Okay, that way. Now let's go ahead and attach them. We're going to use the darning needle to attach our stars. And now you're going to attach them at the points where you marked. So I'm going to remove this and replace with my star. So we're just going to attach it randomly. After you're done attaching, you're going to weave in the loose end at the back of your work, at the wrong side of your work. So you're just going to weave in randomly. And we are done, guys. And this is how it looks like. You see? So you're going to go ahead and attach all the other stars, and that is it, guys. So thank you so much for watching, and if you are new here, please subscribe and click the notification bell so that you get notified when I post a new video. And the next video we're going to include butterfly tutorial, so keep in touch. See you.